How we doing tonight? Week 1. Chris, I got to be honest. The NBA Finals are here, right?
Yeah.
You know, Mark Jackson calls the games. I'm sure you know who Mark Jackson is. And when, like, LeBron goes to the hole and makes a bucket, shoots a three, bang, Mark Jackson always says, right before they go to a commercial break, "Mama, there goes that man." Brother, it looks like you are killing it this week 1 back with the Tigers. Take us through it, man. How's it going? How's it being back with the team and being with Coach Jacob Flint?
Being with the team is good and everything, but the first day back, I thought things were going to be slight, like things were going to be easy. So I woke up because I work out at 8:30. So I woke up, I'm thinking like, okay, I got this. So like I ain't eat that morning. I went in there, I about died. I ain't gonna lie to you. After every set, my hands was on my knees. I thought I was gonna die. I'm not gonna lie to you. But after that, I started eating before I went to go work out. I was fine after that. Everything was smooth.
I don't want to say it teaches you, but you got to have that moment to prepare and get ready, though, right? I mean, like, man, you can't – look, that's the biggest misconception. You can't go in there on the empty stomach. You got to have that energy to get ready to go. Chris, let's talk about this, though, because I think this is an interesting dynamic. Look, we all play – a lot of us played high school football. But the level of difference, and maybe it wasn't a lot of difference at Zachary to the SEC. Maybe it was. How big of a leap, though, is it to be prepared for a season? Because, look, man, when I went to college, it was a big difference, right? Like, you're not doing the 20 sprints, 40 to 40. You're not, it's a lot different. You're running the 110s. You're working out. You're running for an hour, getting ready to go. Just how big of a leap, though, is it going from high school, a 5A, predominantly really successful high school, to what you're doing right now at LSU?
Well, for me, the biggest jump, I would say, like being prepared. Because, like in high school, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but like you one of the like best ones on the field. So like things naturally come easy to you.
Right.
Next level, there's more preparation for it. There's more film being watched. There's more stuff you're doing in the weight room, more stuff you're doing at practice. So I would just say like being mentally prepared like before the game is like the biggest jump for me.
So when you talk, I'm just to clarify too, everybody's on that level, right? Like when you're talking about the SEC, I mean, I would assume, man, again, everybody's there. I mean, like this week, Mel Kiper said pretty much a third of his first round picks are y'all's defensive line. I mean, Chris, that's what you're having to compete against. I mean, so to clarify, I mean, it's just everybody's just so damn good in this league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like for me, watching film like way beforehand, before the game, it just helps me because like you know what's coming, so that way you can read and react faster on the field, and that helps me a bunch.
Now I saw you, and we'll get everybody firing your questions. Hashtag Ask Chris. Zach, make sure that we put that in here. Hashtag Ask Chris if we haven't done so already. Chris, we saw you doing box steps. I really don't know what they're calling them now. I mean, what I call them might be different from what you're calling it. Mm-hmm. But man, I gotta tell you this, and tell me if I'm wrong. It seems like you have a little bit of that mama mentality going into this summer. Right? I mean, look, Chris, we've seen the videos, we've seen the photos, we've seen the stuff that LSU's putting out. Do you feel like you've got that mama mentality? Because, man, look. Normal human beings don't do the things that you do. It seems like you're really locked in. I mean, am I just missing something here? Because for me, and I know you, for me, it seems like you're just ready to roll, man. Like you're ready to explode.
Funny thing is, I actually got a picture of Kobe Bryant with the mama mentality saying at the bottom of it. So for me, I just know, like, I know what I have to do in order to be where I want to be. And that's what I'm doing this summer. So I'm just attacking every day with a purpose.
I knew you had it. I didn't ask you about this. So everybody, to clarify, I didn't know. But you do have that poster. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, do you ever watch kind of like a little sidebar here? Do you ever watch old Kobe like interviews and he talks about the mama mentality kind of deal? Like, like everything that he talks about. Like I was watching one of those, was it Instagram reels this morning? And he was talking about, I could work out, do this, but everybody's doing this. So I wake up at 4, I go work out, eat breakfast, go back and work out, eat lunch, go back and work out, eat dinner, go back and work out, and then go to sleep. I mean, dude, that guy was on a different level. Like he just couldn't rest until he knew he outworked everybody.
Yeah. My favorite one was, I forgot what game they were playing, but he was like, most of his teammates, they wanted to go out when they all wanted to go out. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna go out with y'all. So they all went out, and he woke them up at like 6 a.m. the next morning, banging on all their doors, telling them to come to the gym to work out. And then they had to go and play. I
think, bro, I to that same thing, it was they just locked up the 1 seed. I think it was the last year him and Shaq won a championship together. Okay. And so Shaq was like, Kobe, chill out. Let's go celebrate. We're the number 1 seed, whatever it was. Right. And so him and Shaq got into a competition. Like everything was a competition with him. So Shaq just started, spitting the bills out everywhere, buying Cristal and all this kind of stuff. And Kobe was like, hey, man, this is a competition. I could do it too. So about the same kind of story you're talking about. 5 o'clock shows up to Shaq's house. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, Shaq, it's time to go work out. And Shaq goes, get your stupid ass off my lawn. But that, again, that's the mentality. And I think that we're seeing it here with you. And that's interesting. So you post that photo. Was there anything you were trying to get out, like a message you were trying to get out with that? Or is it just like, hey, I'm sitting here, we're ready to roll. We're getting ready for week 1.
Basically, I was saying, like, we always working. So, like, when that time comes, we ready, basically.
I'm going to wait for that one for a couple weeks. I got a good one. I'm going to wait for that one, though. Let's get to a couple of these questions that people are firing in. Blaine Smith says, hashtag Ask Chris, new Madden has John Madden on the cover. Which Madden was your favorite?
Mine? I think.
Let me tell you mine. 2005. Mike Vick. Okay.
I think I had that one. I think I did.
But bro, the wild thing though is Mike Vick had 99 overall speed. You know what I mean? I mean, it's insane for a quarterback to be that. Chris, it's like you being a quarterback, bro. I mean, it was insane. But let me ask you this. Do you believe in the Madden curse, though? Like all the players that are getting hurt. Tom Brady's like the only guy to do it and not get hurt. There's got to be a little bit of a curse behind this, though. Don't you think?
Maybe. I know about the Drake curse. Not the Drake curse. No, yeah, the Drake curse. Yeah,
it is a Drake curse.
And the Kardashian curse with like the athletes. Got one on social
media. Chris, can you do me a favor? Can you make sure you don't date a Kardashian during your LSU playing career, please?
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, if you do, just make sure we win a natty before, okay? Please, I'm begging you. Chris Hilton Jr., LSU wide receiver, is our guest. I'm trying to find Aunt Marshall's comment. I think I'm missing it, though. Oh, there it is. Aunt Marshall says, hashtag is Chris. What is the biggest improvement you've made to your game going into the season?
So I would say paying attention to the little details. Because like you said, everything, like everybody on the same level when it comes to the SEC and college football in general. So it's like the small things that separate you.
So, look, I'm going to ask you this. Mike Jones told us last week that Jeray Jenkins is the biggest trash talker on the offense. Like, it's not even close. But Jeray's been here for a while, right? Like, I don't think, Chris, that there's anything – I can't imagine that there's anything that's happened in college football that he hasn't seen. National championship, COVID, coaching change, multiple, he's been literally in college, been through it all. Do you lean on him any? Like, because look, man, he's literally seen it all. Are there any questions like you even ask the players or the older guys that are on the team that have been here for a while?
Yeah, when I got here last year, like trying to learn the playbook, learning all the routes and stuff like that. I was going up to ask him, and even like with like the small stuff within like route running, I would always go and ask him. So I learned a lot from him.
Now, we talked about Cortez Hankton, your position coach, a couple of weeks ago. I want to ask this question, but I don't want you to give away trade secrets. If you can think of anything, though, is there any? No, don't give specifics. When do you feel like your route running and things like that are better coming from a guy that played in the NFL, though, right? Like, I might do an offensive line camp, okay? I might see something they're doing and I teach them. But he's been at a different level. Like we have Terrence Copper that played with the Saints for a long time on our other podcast. The small little details that he sees in route running from guys like yourself. Is there little things that he sees that makes you feel like your route running has improved any?
Yeah, because like when we out there, he'll always coach us up on like key points like during the routes or like the beginning of routes. So I just take that and I apply it to the field, and I've seen improvement in my route running.
Nurse Court asked you who's the biggest smack talker at practice, but I think we talked about that last week, and she sends us a super chat. That is Jay Ward, right? Jay Ward's the biggest trash talker defensively.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you though. Well, I mean, because everybody keeps saying that. Can you share anything he says? I mean, no cursing or anything, but is it funny trash talk, or is it like he's trying to humiliate you trash talk?
I would say it's more funny than trying to.
Go ahead. Go. I rudely interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, it's just like nonstop throughout like the practice. Often.
Do you ever just sit there though? Because I'd play with guys like I would ask myself the question, Chris, do they sit in class all day trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna say? You know what I mean? Like, bro, where do you come up with this stuff? Like, are you sitting in class like what? Go ahead. What's that? I'm sorry.
Probably do it on the fly, just like in the moment.
That's what makes people the best, man, when you're able to do it on the fly. LSU Colby says, #ask Chris, which DBs do you think on this team right now it covers the best? What are some of the good matchups that you have at practice?
Makai Garner, he's one. Demarius McGee, he's another one. And can't think of any more right now, but I know those two for sure.
Chris, is there any corner that I don't want to say gives you issues? Because look, there's not an issue you can overcome. Yeah. But what is it more difficult to go against, the speedy corner or the more physical corner? Because look, there's the GOATs, Dion, Pat Pete, Tyron. Okay, they could do both. They got speed, but they can be physical all at the same time. Which ones are more difficult to go up against, though?
The long and physical ones. I'll never forget Kansas. When we played Kansas State in the bowl game, I forgot what number he was, but they were saying like throughout the week, oh, he's 6'4", long, physical. I'm like, all right. So I go out there, I line up. I think we had like a run play, and he was pressed, so I was just gonna run him off. So the ball snaps, and like before I could even move, he hit me with a 1-2. Before I could move, I was like, bro. Like he didn't move. He just 1-2. Those probably like the toughest ones. Long and physical corners, especially when they're tall. Those are like the tough ones.
Chris, for me, when we went up against Mississippi State, I knew I had to change something. Let me spin off of that. Do you replay that in your head? Like I used to replay that Fletcher Cox moment in my head all the time. Like, hey man, I got to get better here. Like I got to do. Look, I've been through that, and it changes what you're doing in the weight room. It changes what you're doing on practice running the 110s. I don't want to say that man changed you, okay? But look, there are times where you're like, okay, well, I got to get better here. Was that a moment for you when that happened?
Yeah, because I definitely like now when it comes to like certain DBs, I know what I got to do at the line to get past them.
Use that speed, baby. Use that speed. They can't touch. as Muhammad Ali would say, they can't touch what they can't see. You know, Chris, I'm about to punch right quick. Watch, I'm about to throw a punch. Did you see it? That's how quick I am. The whole Muhammad Ali. You can't touch what you can't see.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more. We'll get you out of here, brother. Thank you. Chris Hilton, the LSU wide receivers, our guest. Fantastic right now. D Payne says, hashtag ask Chris, who is your favorite DB to match up against in practice? Do you have a favorite one, though?
I wouldn't have a favorite, but like everyone that I go up against is always like a good competition, and that's what you want when you have practice, because good competition makes you better.
Chris, at practice this spring, it would be offense one day, defense the next. We would go out there, offense one day, defense the next. Does that make for a better spring in your opinion? Like when it's like, damn, man, defense got us yesterday, but we got to come back today. Do you feel like this spring the intensity was better than last? And not saying anything about the last staff or anything like that, but just the intensity. Was it bigger? But were you at last spring, or was this your first one at LSU?
No, I was there last one.
Okay. How was the intensity bigger this one or last year's?
I would say they probably wasn't what you want to be honest with you.
I got you. I feel you. Okay. All right, Chris Hilton's our guest. We'll try to let's get one more. I'm trying to find it. We're not asking that question, guys. Come on. I'm trying to find one, Chris. Hold on. We got one, Zach. Zach, if we find one that's good. Here we go. The Golden Boot Podcast says, hashtag ask quick. Ask Chris, what wide receiver do you model your game after the most? I know we talked about this before, but let's go down it again. Was there any wide receiver you model yourself after more?
Odell, probably.
Okay. Odell. So yeah. What about Odell? Like what are the things that you like to model your game that Odell does?
Basically, he can do it all, and he's a big playmaker. So that's probably like what I take from his game.
Chris, let me ask you this question. You know, Odell is different in a way, right? Meaning,
yeah,
bro, he will run slants all the live long day and take that thing to the house. But he's not scared to get hit over the middle either. Is there something that Odell does, though, going across the middle to get away from linebackers and not take those big hits that you've noticed? Like, so I've noticed, like, I don't ever really remember him taking the big hits across the middle. Is there something that he's doing that you see that, like, maybe you model after? Because I remember, like, he'll just get down. He'll catch and get down. Like, I'm not taking that hit. I'm not taking that punishment if I don't have to. Do you see stuff like that, and that's how you try to model it? Like, look, why do I have to take an unnecessary hit?
I mean, I think it would probably depend, because sometimes you could run a slant, and I don't want to say like you could just sit down and settle, but sometimes you can kind of like ease your way into like the space and then catch it, then get upfield, so you don't have to run into that linebacker, or like some like you say, like what he does, just catch and get down so he doesn't take the hit. But for me, what year was this? My sophomore year, we played U High, slant across the middle. It was a little too far in front of me, so I lunged it out to reach out and get it.
All
went past me. Linebacker came, cracked my head. I was on the ground for a good 15, 20 seconds. Had to be taken to the sideline, concussion protocol, but I ended up going back in the game. I remember that, though.
Well, if you remember it, then you didn't have a concussion. I promise you.
I went back.
Look, as someone has had multiple, you ain't going to remember what happened unless you watch it on film, you know, like stuff like that. All right, Chris, you've been fantastic, man. Look, keep killing it this summer. I know it's hot. I know you're working. It's good to hear from you, though, man. Tonight was fantastic. I think that, look, we're 93 days away, and y'all kick it off against Florida State. So we're looking forward to it, man. We'll talk very soon.
All right. Thank you for having me.